in the heart of South Asia, nestled between empires and crossroads of civilizations, lie two nations bound by geography, culture, and a history steeped in conflict: Pakistan and Afghanistan. Their border, the Durand Line, drawn by the British in 1893, has been more than just a line on a map. It's a scar, a source of contention, and the stage for a geopolitical drama that has shaped the destiny of millions. For over a century, this porous frontier has been a conduit for trade, tribes, and turmoil, creating a relationship that is as complex as it is critical to global security. To understand the present, we must look to the past. When Pakistan was carved out of British India in 1947, Afghanistan was the only nation to vote against its entry into the United Nations. The reason? The Durand Line. Kabul has never officially recognized this border, viewing it as an imperial imposition that divided the Pashtun people, the largest ethnic group in Afghanistan and a significant minority in Pakistan. This foundational dispute set the stage for decades of mistrust. Afghanistan's leaders dreamt of a Pashtunistan, a unified homeland, a dream that directly challenged Pakistan's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The Cold War turned this regional rivalry into a global flashpoint. When the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan in 1979, Pakistan, the backing of the United States and Saudi Arabia, became the frontline state. Its intelligence agency, the ISI, became the primary channel for arming and training the Mujahideen, the Afghan holy warriors fighting the Soviets. While this strategy successfully repelled the Red Army, it had unforeseen and devastating consequences. It flooded the region with weapons, radicalized a generation, and empowered warlords. Pakistan's policy of strategic depth, the idea of having a friendly pro-Pakistan government in Kabul to counter its rival. India was born in the crucible of this war. This policy would dictate its actions in Afghanistan for years to come. The Soviet withdrawal in 1989 didn't bring peace. Instead, it plunged Afghanistan into a brutal civil war. The Mujahideen factions, once united against a common enemy, turned their guns on each other, devastating Kabul and the rest of the country. From this chaos, a new force emerged in the mid-1990s, the Taliban. Primarily composed of Pashtun religious students from southern Afghanistan and refugee camps in Pakistan. They promised to restore order, enforce their strict interpretation of Islamic law, and end the infighting. Pakistan saw an opportunity. They became one of only 3 countries to officially recognize the Taliban government, providing them with military, financial, and diplomatic support. For Pakistan, the Taliban seemed to be the key to finally achieving that elusive strategic depth. The events of September 11, 2001 shattered this calculation. The world changed overnight. Faced with an ultimatum from the United States, you are either with us or you are with the terrorists. Pakistan's leadership made a pivotal U-turn. Officially, Islamabad became a key ally in the U.S.-led war on terror, providing logistical support, sharing intelligence, and allowing its airspace to be used for attacks on al-Qaeda and the Taliban in Afghanistan. But the reality on the ground was far more complicated. Many within Pakistan's establishment were reluctant to completely abandon a group they had nurtured for years. This led to a dangerous double game, where Pakistan fought some militant groups while allegedly providing sanctuary to others, including the Afghan Taliban's leadership. This duality strained its relationship with both Washington and Kabul, who accused Pakistan of playing both sides. For 2 decades, as American and NATO forces fought in Afghanistan, the Taliban waged a resilient insurgency, often from safe havens across the border in Pakistan. Despite billions in U.S. aid, the trust between Pakistan and its Western allies eroded. Drone strikes in Pakistan's tribal areas targeted militants, but also caused civilian casualties, fueling anti-American sentiment. Meanwhile, successive Afghan governments, led by Hamid Karzai and then Ashraf Ghani, openly accused Pakistan of sponsoring the Taliban insurgency that was destabilizing their country. The border remained a battleground, not just for soldiers, but for ideologies, influence, and the very future of Afghanistan. The dramatic withdrawal of U.S. forces in August 2021 and the swift collapse of the Afghan government marked a stunning victory for the Taliban. For a moment, it seemed Pakistan had finally achieved its long-sought strategic depth. The pro-India government in Kabul was gone, replaced by a regime it had long supported. However, this victory has proven to be a double-edged sword. Instead of a stable, compliant neighbor, Pakistan now faces a complex and unpredictable reality. The Taliban's return has emboldened militant groups within Pakistan itself, particularly the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, or TTP. This group, while separate from the Afghan Taliban, shares its ideology and has launched a new wave of attacks inside Pakistan from its bases in Afghanistan. The irony is stark. Pakistan, once accused of exporting instability, now finds itself on the receiving end. The Afghan Taliban have been unwilling or unable to crack down on the TTP, straining relations with their former patrons in Islamabad. Border clashes have increased, and the once celebrated victory now looks like a strategic nightmare. The Durand Line is once again a source of intense friction, with Pakistan building fences and fortifications to control a border that has always resisted being controlled. The dream of strategic depth has morphed into a security dilemma, a perfect example of blowback. Today, the relationship between Pakistan and Afghanistan is at another critical juncture. Both nations face immense economic challenges, humanitarian crises, and the persistent threat of extremism. The historic ties of faith and kinship that bind their people are being tested by the political realities of statehood and security. The future remains uncertain. Can these two neighbors move beyond the legacy of mistrust and conflict? Can they find a way to cooperate on shared threats and build a future based on mutual respect and stability? The answers to these questions will not only determine the fate of millions of Afghans and Pakistanis, but will also ripple across the region and the world. The story of Pakistan and Afghanistan is a powerful reminder that in geopolitics, there are no permanent friends or enemies, only enduring interests and the complex, often tragic consequences of the choices we make. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into a very complex relationship. If you found this documentary insightful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that explores the forces shaping our world. We'll see you next time.